and welcome to this video. In this video, we're going to go through the process of efficiently working with exercises in our curriculum. So for this one, I'm going to focus on a particular day. This is week 1, day 3. I'm going to open and scroll down to the exercises. So for this day, we have 3 HTML exercises. Now, let's start working on this exercise and see how you can set up your Visual Studio Code environment to efficiently work with the exercises. The first thing you want to do is you want to make sure that your repository is up to date with the original repository. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to go on my GitHub repository. This is forked from the original integration repository. And as you can see, my repository, my forked version is 6 commits behind. So the first thing I want to do is to sync the fork. So I'm going to go here and update the branch. It's out of date. So after a while, I will see that it is synced and then it's not behind the upstream, the original in-tech-gration repository. Everything is up to date. The next step is to go locally to switch to my VSCode and then git pull to download the information from my forked repository. So all these updates that I got through the syncing process are also downloaded to my local computer. So I'm right here in the terminal. I'm in my forked repository folder, and I'm just going to do a git pull. So git pull, the changes will be downloaded, and now I have all the changes right here. This is the time, the correct time to start working on the exercise. Otherwise, my repository might be out of sync and there might be a mistake or an error or something missing. I run a git status once again to see that everything looks good. It's up to date. Perfect. Now, in order to have a more efficient workspace, I will press Cmd+J or Ctrl+J to hide or toggle the terminal. So Cmd+J or Ctrl+J to toggle. And of course, I can toggle back the terminal by Cmd+J for the Mac or Ctrl+J for Windows and Linux. Okay, I need to work on the exercise. So I'm going to open up my repository folder, go to curriculum, week 1, exercises, and let's say I'm going to focus on the third HTML exercise. Under this folder, I can find the instructions. So I will open up the instructions markdown file. There's also the original HTML file. And of course, I need to copy these files. I need to work on this solution, and that would be on a different folder. So in order to do that, I will go to the instructions to see at what point, at what place in my repository I need to copy these exercises, the solutions. So I can see that I have to paste all the files related to this exercise under user week 1 exercise day 3 semantic HTML. So let me create this folder so I can put and I can copy all the solution related files. So I'm going to copy this name and then go to, I'm going to fold the curriculum and open up user week 1 exercises day 3. And then I'm going to right click and new folder to actually create this folder. Now, I need to create an index.html file for this exercise. So I'm going to just right click and select new file, index.html, which should be a copy of the original code. So I have my empty index.html file, and I'm just going to copy all the HTML from the original code, Control or Command-A to select everything, Command or Control-C to copy, and then right here, Command-V or Control-C, or Control-V to paste. So now I have a copy of the index.html. Probably I also want to copy all the other related files. For example, there's an HTML image here, but it's only part of the instruction, so there's no other thing to copy to the user folder. That's totally fine. So take a good look to see whether there are extra files that you need to copy to the user folder. At this point, only one index.html file should be copied. Okay, so I have my original code here. I have my solution code, which is, of course, the same as the original code. I will start working on this, and I have the instructions. Now, in order to efficiently work with this exercise, I will press Command or Ctrl+B on Mac or Windows, respectively, to switch the sidebar to the right or to the left. And then I want to focus on the solution. So the solution should be here, ideally on the left side. And then on the right side, I want to see the original code, so I can go back and check and compare with the original code. So I will drag this file right here. So solution here on the left, original code on the right, just for reference. And then I also want to take a look at the instructions right here. So for a better experience, you want to have your code and work here on the solution on the left and have the instructions here on the right. Now, if you decide not to work and see the instructions through the website, so if I go back to my website and I open up the instructions here, I can take a look at this really nice output, so I can read the instructions here through the website with this nice look and typography. But if you want to stick with VS Code and have everything in this environment, the Markdown file might be a little bit difficult for you to follow and read, because the Markdown file is a little bit like a plain text file with some special formatting here. So that might be difficult for you. So one thing that we can do is we can move the instructions here and then press this button here, which says Open Preview to the side. And this will render the Markdown into an HTML page, and we can actually see a much nicer output of the Markdown file. So instead of looking at this Markdown text file, I can see this tiny web browser displaying the rendered HTML, which is actually a lot nicer and more easy to read. Now I can also close this file on the left side, these instructions. I can close it. The preview will stay here. So now it's we have quite I would say, a much better setup for you to work. You can, for example, fold the section, the head section here, because you probably need to focus on the body. And you can always take a look at the exercise instructions here, follow the steps, and then go back here and update your code. So just a more efficient way to work through VS Code. Once again, the summary: we opened up the instructions Markdown file, we clicked on the preview, open preview to the side, so we can have like a preview of the instructions here on the right side. We have the solution right here on the left, and we can always go back and select or compare with the original code. So if I change something here, so if I add a comment, for example, I can always go back to my original code and compare and see what I have changed or what was the original code, and then maybe update my code. So preview on the right, code on the left, and I think that's quite a better way to set up your VS Code environment and work on the exercises. I hope this video helped you. Let us know if you have any questions. Thank you for watching.